All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. Good to see you guys. We're live on Rockfin, YouTube, Callin. I'm just going to get into a couple things quickly to start off. Buzz? You guys hear buzz or no? I don't hear buzz. Is it crackling? Is my audio crackling or something? It's a kind of a constant thing. Crackling, okay. Check. All right. It should be better. Thanks for letting me know. What's up, calling people? How you doing? All right. I don't know. This is an interesting tweet because the message is kind of right, but the idea that it's Republicans that are doing all the thing is the wrong message, right? So this is the thing that people have a hard time understanding. It's, Democrats are hand in hand with the Republicans doing the things. Right. Doing the right wing things, rolling back the regulations, hacking away at the social safety nets, the fabric of social good. The doing of social good and whatnot. Democrats and Republicans are doing it together. That's what people don't understand. But she says East Palestine voted almost all Republican. They are against all socialism. They're against government regulations. They got what they voted for. Now they're complaining about the lack of safety and socialistic programs available to them. I mean, on some the idea that it's just Republicans doing this is false. But what she's saying is right. Because people keep on saying, oh, we can't, regulation bad, government bad, can't do anything about it. We need, free market, blinky boo. And there's a lot of people that carry this message forward as if it's helpful. Anyways. Yeah, I was listening. Were you all listening to the Rage Against the War Machine rally? I was listening to that. It's on several channels. Good thing to listen to. Good thing to check in with. I'm glad, the message is correct. And Bella says some great speeches in D.C. Too bad they're not there on a weekday to shut the lobbyist warmongers down. You got a point there, Bella. Again, that's true. Doing a nice little publicly sanctioned, properly licensed rally on the weekends while everybody's enjoying some food and a nice hot beverage and clapping for each other. Not gonna, again, I'm not against the message. The message is important. Yeah, Gerald Celente was hilarious. I love Gerald Celente. Man, he's so great. He just goes right for the jugular. Every single sentence is like a karate chop to the face, and I mean, he had me rolling. He was the funniest. He was the funniest one up there. Jimmy Dore was pretty good, but I tell you, pound for pound, laugh factor, Gerald Celente, way killed Jimmy Dore on that level. Gerald Celente was hilarious. No offense to Jimmy Dore. I love Jimmy Dore. Choir Boy says captured regulations is what we're dealing with. Well, yeah, but you need the regulations. You need them to go in the right direction. And how do you do that? You can't say, if you say they're all bad or the government bad, then you're just kind of painting things with this broad brush. And what's the answer to that? That's also another thing. What's interesting to me is it's easy to point out the problem, but what's the answer? Well, if you, this is bad. These people are bad. This has got to go. Bop-a-de-boo. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Call that out. That's important. Got to do that. Give people the truth. Give people the right message. But what's the answer? What do you do? What takes the place of that? If that were to go away, how do you get rid of that thing? What's the method? Where are the, what are the steps? Where's the pathway? Right? Those are important conversations to have also, right? The protest muscle is a good one, but also the, how do we think it through and organize a better response, or a better way is also an important muscle. Just saying. Anyways. Anyways, but this, that message had part of the answer was right, but a big part of it was missing. All right, let's move on. Somebody posted this, and I was like, hey, this looks interesting. I did research. Again, people are putting a lot of stuff like this out here. Like, these are orchestrated attacks, the burning building. And, they do. I'm not saying they do look. The number, the degree to which they're happening does seem suspicious. So I'm not denying that. However, he says Chicago Heights morning fire at manufacturing facility, orchestrated attacks. This was actually posted yesterday. However, this fire happened 2 weeks ago. Because I looked it up on the internet. So, does it matter whether it happened 2 weeks ago? Not really. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of things are catching fire. Is it orchestrated? Who knows? Oh, actually, that's funny. Obsolete Optics. I was about to talk about that story, the Great Salt Lake going dry. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. But anyways, yes, there are a lot of things catching on fire, burning up. I don't know. I don't know if it's orchestrated or what if it's a combination. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Or, sorry, unintended buzz. Anyways, the buzz is back, but we'll let it go for a second. What was I going to show you? Oh, anyways, I was going to show you the search I did for this very fire. So, I mean, it's not. He was saying that it was happening this morning, yesterday. So, is a little bit of a sleight of hand, maybe, and trying to make it seem like, oh, there's more fires happening. Here's one that happened to, he's making it seem like it's happening right now, and it happened 2 weeks ago. So, I don't know. It was a little weird. Anyways, manufacturing facility. This is the one that happened. It was 2 weeks ago. So is it? See that? 2 weeks ago. There's a little bit deceitful to make it seem like it's happening that morning, yesterday. Maybe. I don't know. It still happened. So. The End of the World Party posted this by way of Peter Dines. Peter Dines. Come on, Buzz. I worked so hard to put you in your place. And no. Anyways. Alright. I promise to stop playing with it. End of the World Party says, these are the climate wildcards that are obvious but never given space in emissions accounting or projections. Yes, that's true. All the burning, all the accidents, all the externalities, all the oopsies. Right? Creating much more toxicity in on the planet than. I mean, it's not just about emissions; it's just about just straight up pollution, right? And if you want to talk about the concept of CO2 warming the planet, I mean that is pollution, right? So it's funny to me that people agree we're polluting the planet, but somehow we're not. Somehow, CO2 doesn't change anything. Or something, and then they never mention methane, right? They never talk about methane. Why? Because they're not that deep, right? They're not even really like up on the science enough to actually like have a conversation about it. But nonetheless, pollution. We are doing that. I think everybody agrees we're doing that on a major scale, and could it just be civilization out of control. A runaway train, as somebody said in the chats. As collapse picks up speed, there will be more and more fluke accidents like these, even as we elaborately feign decarbonization. I'm not on either. I'm not coming down hard on either side of whether like these are all organized or these are all a fluke. Who knows? There seem to be a lot of them. So there's a lot of something going on. Another day, another chemical explosion, this time in Huji City, China. Late-stage capitalism continues to pollute the biosphere at levels never experienced by human civilization. Nature will only tolerate so much. This is not sustainable. Well, yeah. If again, I guess I said this yesterday, if you build a system up that's so complex and requires so much energy to keep going, to keep up the infrastructure, to keep everything running, to keep everything humming. Lightning rod, yes, you're correct. Kuwait's burning tire fire, right? The one that's been going on for a long time. There's another one. There's like a slow burning underground fire in St. Louis, outside of St. Louis. We talked about years ago. It's still going, and there's I think there's nuclear waste there, but right, this is just a product of a civilization that can't handle its own toxicity, right? That has no answer for it, has no answer for that, and so I don't know. And as these systems that are supposed to, kind of keep everything running correctly, or at least keep things in check, crumbles and decays. Due to various reasons, over complexity, corruption, whatever it might be, resource depletion. There are a lot of reasons all of this is happening. But yeah, you're gonna get a lot of stuff like this happening. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little somewhat, it's fine if your opinion is it's all they're doing this, everybody's, this is all controlled and they're doing it. They're making it happen cuz ... Okay. That's cool. On a journalistic level, I think it's a little sloppy, but whatever. Yes, G. Demarest, Bridgeton landfill in St. Louis, been burning since at least 2010. Yeah. And, same with all the train derailments, right? I read the article the other day, right? And everybody knows this now. Now this is a publicly known fact that there's 1,700 train derailments a year. So, it's kind of just another in a long line of sloppy operations, right? Yep. Anyways, so, those are also good points. Yeah, Salt Lake City. We talked about, I covered this story a couple weeks ago. We talked about this story. Talk about it again. Not much time left. Salt Lake City's mayor on the Great Lake drying up. Erin Mendenhall was once an environmental activist campaigning for clean air, now in a fitting but grim twist. She's the mayor of a fast-growing U.S. city. Fast-growing. Gosh, could that be part of the problem? I wonder if anybody's going to point that out. Like, oh, this, all this stuff is happening because of this and that, and doobie-bop, and, this factor over here and this factor over here. But, like, they, fast-growing, that part probably won't be the reason why the Salt Lake is drying up, but that's actually the reason. Joe Biden whisper. That's the reason. Fast growing. That's the reason why the Salt Lake is drying up. I heard it was the sun that was drying up the Great Salt Lake. Anyways. What? You're trying to say humans have caused it? Well, that's anti-human. I can't listen to this stuff. There's plenty of space out here. We got so much of everything. Anyways, Mendenhall, who was 42, became animated by the issue of air pollution after learning that the air quality in Salt Lake City has become so bad from cars, trucks, and industry that it could take 2 years off the life of her newborn son. In 2010, she co-founded a nonprofit group called Breathe Utah before embarking upon a political career that saw her become Salt Lake City's mayor in 2020. I had to do something about air pollution or move. And that's not happening in any other cities, is it? Toxicity. But her city has now been thrust to the precipice of what Ben Abbott, an ecologist at the local Brigham Young University, calls one of the worst environmental disasters in modern U.S. history. I think he's a socialist. Ben. Sounds socialist to me. While with the rapidly shrinking Great Salt Lake just a short distance from the city, leaving behind a lake bed laced with arsenic, mercury, and other toxins. The wind is already beginning to pick up these toxins in airborne plumes that will only grow as the lake, which could disappear within 5 years, recedes further. It sounds like that's intentional. That was an intentional plan to fill the lake with toxins and then have the water dry out and then toxic bloom. I think Rockefeller was behind that one. I'm joking. These are jokes. I think Cecil Rhodes was behind that one. These are jokes. Let's see. Summer is marked by roiling poisonous clouds sweeping off the lake. Is something that, or could it be the American Petroleum Institute? Could it be the Rand Corporation? Could it be the Heartland Institute? Could it be some other people that have caused this to happen through negligence, through disinformation, through don't look over there, don't look here, don't look there, look over there. Buy today, throw away tomorrow. Could that be it? Nah. Summer is marked by roiling, poisonous clouds sweeping off the lake is something that, of course, worries me, says Mendenhall. Host of respiratory, cardiac, and cancer-related problems could be stirred through the city's 200,000-strong population, which is part of a broader string of urban and suburban development of 2.8 million people wedged between the lake and the Wasatch Mountains range in Utah. But that definitely isn't the problem. Nope. That isn't the thing. I hear that the no-go zone near Chernobyl is doing great. I wonder why. I mean, I'm not saying that the plants and the animals there aren't filled with radioactivity from Chernobyl, but a lot of the wildlife there seems to be thriving. And I'll give you a clue as to why. Called no-go zone. They told the humans to get out, don't come back for at least 35, 45 years, right? And wildlife is like, let me stretch out a little bit. Anyways, we already know our air quality takes lives or shortens lives, which was that first moment of action for me with my newborn. This is a challenge unlike anything we've grappled with as air quality advocates, but I don't feel fear in an incapable sense. Anyways, the looming air pollution nightmare is a jarring one considering how desirable Salt Lake City has become for many Americans. Oh, I like this place. It's pretty good. Oh no, the lake's drying up and there's toxic plumes. I don't know, still sounds great to me. Let's go. The city is one of the fastest growing in the U.S. That's exactly what people are saying, right? I don't know. Doesn't sound so bad. Toxic plumes, you say? Nick Oliver says, I had to roll down the car windows on the East Coast north of D.C. It is so effing warm. Yeah, what's the date? February 19th. I mean, it's warm. It's nice here in L.A., but that's how it's, that's why people move to L.A., because it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to be warm in the winter in L.A., but in other places, kind of weird, kind of strange. Where's the snow? We haven't had a whole snowstorm in Rhode Island or in other places. We haven't had any snow this year. It's super warm and hot. Cactuses are growing in the Alps, but there is nothing at all going on. All right. Yeah, city is a draw for the arts, education, banking. What? And the outdoors with some of the best skiing and snowboarding in the U.S. Book your vacation today. A torch used in a relay to start the 2002 Winter Olympics hangs outside of Mendenhall's office. That's great. Anyways, there's a rampant diversion of water from the rivers that feed the Great Salt Lake. I wonder why. Along with a fierce mega drought that's worse than the West in 1,200 years. Anyways, the largest saline lake in the Western Hemisphere is contracted in size by nearly 2/3. That's a whole lot of percentages. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways. A lot of this is being used, the water is being diverted for agriculture. You got something against agriculture? I don't know. Well, it's, there seems to be more people on the planet, and we got to feed them all, and we got to figure out how to feed them all, and we're diverting all the water to grow the food to feed them all the planet, all the people, all the people on the planet, and all the lakes are drying up, and all the reservoirs are drying up, and we don't understand why. It's probably a conspiracy or something. I don't know. They're making that up. All right. Well, this doesn't look good, right? The lake is facing terminal decline in just a matter of years. There's a lot of things facing terminal decline in a matter of years. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things facing terminal decline in a matter of years. Unless people, talk to each other and go, hey, this is a real issue. I wonder if we could have a real, heart to heart about this. I wonder if we could actually band together as a community and, as people and do something to, help the situation. I wonder if we could do that. I wonder if we could do it. Yeah, that's it's not unusual for trains to lose their axles. But do. All right. What's next? Well, this is getting a little sciencey here. Watch out. Watch out now. Watch out now. Sudden stratospheric warming could bring cold outbreaks soon. Fenrir says this will kill the buds on all the trees that were in bud due to the warmer weather. Say goodbye to a lot of fruits, right? The weather whiplash of the Anthropocene continues to reduce crop yields, and it's only February. That's interesting. Sudden stratospheric warming. Did you all hear about this? Sudden stratospheric warming could bring cold outbreaks soon. There's a warming event. There's a stratospheric warming event. Judah Cohen, director of seasonal forecasting at AER in Massachusetts, said the jury is still out exactly on how the disruption of the stratospheric warming event will affect the weather in the U.S. and Western Europe in late February into March. So this is happening soon or now. How and whether this translates to exciting weather is still challenging, in my opinion, he said during via email. What they're saying, Butler said the polar vortex disruption is only one of many factors that will influence winter weather during the next few weeks. So we could actually get a cold, like lots of cold snap or polar vortexes due to the stratospheric warming, which would, again, like, everybody's like, where's the winter? all winter, and then all of a sudden, like, slam, here's some winter, which humans can survive, but other species cannot. Right? Plants, fruits can't survive that kind of stuff. And then if the plants and the fruits don't grow, then the humans don't survive that stuff, right? Eventually. The weather whiplash gets bad enough, then the humans are like, where did all the fruits go? And the things that we were growing, they're not growing anymore. Darn. Anyways, the bottom line is a strong stratospheric warming event is likely to take place next week, and there's a potential for high impact shifts in weather patterns to affect Europe and parts of the U.S. So be on the lookout, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, didn't even show that to you, but G. Demmer says -6C coming next week to Vancouver. All right. All right. Yeah. So maybe some more nastiness coming our way. All right, guys. You know what? I'm gonna jump off. Hold on. First of all, before we do that, yeah, I'm gonna jump off of YouTube and I'm gonna continue on Rockfin and Colin, just because we're gonna talk about some other things. And I want to just say things without, because even though Susan Wojcicki is leaving YouTube and somebody else is coming in, it doesn't look like the policies might change. I'm not sure. Even though they say, we support free speech, except for when we don't. So there's that. All right, we'll see you on Rockfin, everyone.